NASA reckons the moons of Jupiter and Saturn may support life. New research from NASA suggests that the vast oceans found on moons orbiting Saturn and Jupiter could support microorganic life. On Enceladus, Saturn's sixth largest moon, the Cassini spacecraft found evidence of hydrogen gas during a deep dive through a water plume in October of 2016. Hydrogen and other chemical elements, along with water and energy, are key for supporting life. Scientists suspect this points to the possibility of microbial life existing on Enceladus. Separate but similar research concerning water plume eruptions from Europa, the fourth largest of Jupiter's moons, may also point to life there. The Hubble Space Telescope observed eruptions from a warm area on Europa twice in a 2-year period, each higher than the last. NASA will investigate this thermal activity further in the 2020s, when the Europa Clipper spacecraft is launched. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. There are no doubt countless Earth-like planets out there, and some probably support some kind of life. But there's only one Earth, and we all call it home. Until the Reapers come. NASA finds star system with 7 Earth-like planets. NASA this week unveiled a major discovery of a star system that contains 7 planets similar to Earth. What's exciting is that 3 of them might just be habitable enough to support extraterrestrial life. Using the Spitzer Space Telescope and Earth-based telescopes, NASA scientists have found a star system called TRAPPIST-1, located 40 light-years from Earth. The ultra-compact system contains 7 Earth-like planets, with surface temperatures low enough to support water. 3 of these planets are believed to be in the habitable zone, close to the system's ultra-cool dwarf star. These planets take 6, 9, and 12 days, respectively, to orbit the dwarf star. Scientists believe their Earth-like planetary compositions may not only support water, but maybe even life. NASA calculations reckon that all the newly discovered planets have a rocky surface, but the space agency says more investigation is needed to determine if any of them contain water. In 2018, NASA will launch the James Webb Space Telescope, and will use this for further research into the TRAPPIST-1 system. This telescope can reportedly pinpoint water, methane, oxygen, ozone, and other elements of a planet's atmosphere. The TRAPPIST-1 system is located 235 trillion miles from our solar system, which means if you wanted to catch a flight there, the journey would take about 44 million years. So, still faster than a Spirit Airlines flight. NASA may have found a way to bring water back to Mars. NASA's scientists think it's possible to restore Mars's oceans by creating an artificial magnetic field that sits in front of the planet. Scientists say it is possible to place an inflatable structure that generates a magnetic dipole field at the Mars L1 Lagrange point. This would form an artificial magnetic shield to protect the planet from solar wind and radiation. Under this protection, the Martian atmosphere could become thick enough to melt carbon dioxide ice at the northern pole. In time, the atmosphere could spark a greenhouse gas effect that could restore some of Mars's oceans. Scientists said if the Martian atmosphere could be greatly enhanced over the next few decades, it would help pave the way for colonization on Mars. Waterworld is just a couple of light years away. For the first time ever, astronomers have detected an atmosphere around a planet other than Earth, marking a significant step in the search for extraterrestrial life. Planet GJ1132b is roughly 1.4 times the size of Earth and is located 39 light-years away in the Vela constellation. The Earth-like planet orbits a red dwarf star that is smaller, cooler, and dimmer than our own Sun. Dubbed Super-Earth, the planet is believed to be surrounded by a thick atmosphere rich in water or methane, or potentially both. Scientists say one possibility is that GJ1132b is a water world with an atmosphere of hot steam. But with a surface temperature of 370 degrees Celsius, the world is unfortunately not habitable, as life on Earth has only managed to survive in up to 120 degrees Celsius. There's still a lot more to learn about GJ1132b, and scientists hope to be able to observe it more clearly using instruments such as the Hubble Space Telescope, ESO's Very Large Telescope, and the James Webb Space Telescope. Say no to safe spaces on YouTube. Support TomoNews at patreon.com/TomoNews. Life on Mars? Mars may not have been an arid wasteland after all, at least according to a new study that suggests the red planet may have been far more habitable than previously thought. Martian meteorites contain a specific mineral that has long led scientists to believe the planet had an ancient, dry environment. The mineral, called marlite, contains no water or hydrogen, which led to the assumption that its origins were likewise devoid of liquid. But new research now suggests that marlite was originally a hydrogen-containing mineral, and that Mars may have had a more water-rich history. When an asteroid or comet collides with the planet, the force of the collision propels Martian rocks containing Whitlockite out into space. Researchers theorized when these rocks enter Earth's atmosphere as meteors, the shock, pressure, and high temperature sustained during impact dehydrate the mineral, turning it into marlite. They tested the theory by blasting synthetic Whitlockite with a gas-powered gun at speeds of more than 1,600 miles per hour and with huge amounts of pressure. The shock experiments were sustained for only a fraction of a second, but already resulted in partial conversion, with 36% of the mineral transformed to marlite. The findings suggest Mars could have had a more abundant water supply. It also hints at the possibility of life on the red planet, as Whitlockite is water-soluble and contains phosphorus, which is an essential element for life. More detailed studies of Martian meteorites may provide more insight, but a Martian rock taken and transported to Earth will likely be needed for confirmation. For now, scientists need to make do with thermal imaging and rock sample analysis from the rovers. And you thought the moon was made of cheese. Researchers in Israel have revived a decades-old theory that the moon was created by a series of collisions in space. Many scientists believe the moon was created when a Mars-sized planet crashed into Earth billions of years ago. However, the Israeli researchers say simulations show their theory is the correct one. According to some experts, the moon was created over millions of years by objects in space colliding with Earth. Multiple impacts sent material from the planet flying into space. That material then began orbiting Earth. The objects hit Earth at different angles, which sent more material into space than would have occurred from a single impact. According to researchers, the objects that collided with Earth had between 1/100th and 1/10th of the planet's mass. So much material was excavated from Earth by these collisions that a ring of debris formed around the planet. As the debris orbited Earth, it then collided, forming small moons known as moonlets. As many as 20 moonlets then collided together over millions of years to form the moon. The researchers say this explains why the moon has an Earth-like chemical makeup. A widely believed theory says a planet called Theia provided most of the building materials for the moon when it crashed into Earth 4.5 billion years ago. But now the Israeli scientists say more research into the interiors of Earth and the moon is needed to prove their theory right.